Welcome back to the channel, folks. And to my surprise, I broke down and I got one more Combiner Wars figure that I thought I could do something with. This is a collector card. This is a collector card for Trailbreaker. They got the name back. I am very, very happy about that. And this is the art that was on his package. And this is the art that's on the card. And we see red thighs, we see red biceps, we see a completely black chest. I could see what they were going for, but this isn't, and it's nice art. But this isn't exactly Trailbreaker, is it? He's missing some things, but I could see what they were going for. So, you know, me being me, and I have to be honest, I missed the Generations release. I missed that figure. And I might still get that one of these days. But to have a proper representation of Trailbreaker, I broke down and I got this guy. And we're going to take a look at him with the custom paintwork that I've done on him in the latest GotBot True Review. Okay folks, welcome back to the channel, and this is the collector card for Trailbreaker. Before we started getting tech specs on the back, so we'll take that out of it because honestly, it's a collector card. I am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please check me out everywhere. Check out Machinery Man, the Everything Factor. And like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we're going to take a look at my custom Combiner Wars Trailbreaker right here. Like I said, I wasn't going to get this guy, but I broke down and I got him, and I've done a bunch of custom paintwork on him that I hope makes him a little more Trailbreaker-esque. There are elements I like about this guy, elements I like about the Generations mold. And I'll talk about that now as we go through. So, first things first, paint apps for this guy. Paint apps for this guy, they were okay. I see what they were going for. It was about a 7, but the head sculpt is beautiful. It is spot on. Let's see if I can zoom in here on the head sculpt. Right there. I mean, that's a beautiful Trailbreaker head sculpt. I absolutely, positively love it. And I think it's a better head sculpt for Trailbreaker than we got in the Generations line. And that's really what dragged me to actually get him. But, of course, he certainly wasn't perfect. I added silver to the upper thighs. I added silver down here, lower on his leg. I added the red up above and the red down below. I added blue to the sides of his hand-foot piece, and I painted the red hinge, I guess, in here for the thumb. I painted that all black to try and make that mimic his Jeep cap thing a little bit. You'll see how that works out when we get to transformation. I do like with this guy that he had silver on the forearms and black hands. I painted the upper arms black instead of red, and of course trying to somewhat mimic his iconic windshield on his chest and hood. Well, I can't really do the hood. I did cover up the combiner peg here so that you don't really tell it's a combiner peg, at least not as much. And I've done blue right across. I think it's okay to mimic his shoulder weaponry, I guess you'll call it. I did paint the wheel wells, I guess, the struts, whatever it is for those tires. I painted that silver as well. I'm not really sure what that is. He comes with the same axe piece as everybody else in this mold, and it's painted okay, actually, black and silver. It's painted all right, if you're down with the axes. His hand-foot piece is a brand new hand-foot piece that didn't really have fingers. It has this, whatever these two finger things are. I don't know why it was like that. But that's what was done. And and there is a space in between them where you can connect it onto his back, and this is kind of the cab piece, but we'll just lay that aside for now back here. He is based off of the Off-Road mold, our good old friend Off-Road here. I think Off-Road wears the mold fantastic. I think this guy wears it, he wears it okay. Like I said, I see what they were going for. I do think he would have been well served to have been done with the first aid version of this mold so that it didn't turn into a truck, but rather into more of a Jeep-esque type of thing. I keep saying that about a lot of uses of this mold. What can I say? To me, he's never ever going to be a combiner, but if you want him to be a combiner, hey, you do as always, you put the legs together, you turn them at the waist, you put these arms back, you put this arm back, you would flip out the combiner port, which for me isn't really functional. You would put the hand-foot piece in the hole here and you would have an arm. He makes an okay looking arm for Skyrain, I believe it is. Turn them at the waist again, and we put those down. So paint apps, yeah, about a 6. Posability, playability, well, the arms can go all the way out, as you probably already know. This piece can go up. There is a bicep swivel. There's a 90-degree elbow, both sides, even with his gun here. His arms can go all the way around as long as you get that door chunk out of the way. Legs all the way forward and all the way, well, kind of all the way back. And his leg came undone there. Nice 90-degree knee bend, thigh rotation. He does the splits well out to the side. He has a waist swivel, though it's kind of low, you saw it there. He does have a waist swivel. The head can go left and right. Doesn't really look up or down very much at all. Largely, I think, because it's so blocky. About an 8, I guess, for posability, playability. It'd be nice if the head could move more. You know, it's not bad. 8, 8.5. So we have a 6 or 6.5. We'll say 6.5 for paint apps. We'll say 8.5 for posability, playability. There you go. Let's get into transformation for this guy. And I already showed you the arm. This is like all those Combiner Wars molds, so I'm really not going to belabor it. If you want details, hey, have a look at Off-Road's review, or have a look at First Aid's review. Have a look at Ironhide's. I go through them all here, but long story short, you bring the arms down by the side, they go in behind. Maybe I shouldn't have done that yet, I'll just leave those out. You split the legs, by bringing down the calf. You collapse the whole thing up, and there's a section right here that goes in behind, up right here. And there's a section, we fold this hinge here, we fold the whole leg in and we bring it up. The legs should, if I'd done this correctly, and in my haste, I probably haven't. That goes up, and they go together like that. And then you bring the front of the legs down. You bring the two arms in on the sides. And you could take your hand-foot piece and put it here, and there you go, there's a leg. It's an okay leg, even if you do see his gun over here during the transformation. It's an okay leg because this is a solid mold for a leg if you're down with that. But to finish off the truck, we collapse it like we have with Combiner Wars so many times, turn the head around, and we bring this piece down, and we just tab it in, and there he is in his truck mode. Now, you'll notice I don't really have any paint apps added here. I didn't think he needed them, to be honest with you. I think that looks good if you're cool with him being a truck. I'm not. I want him really to be more of a, I don't know, Jeep, Bronco SUV thing. So I do take this, and you'll notice that there's a tab, I guess, up here. And I already said that there were slots between the fingers, so you put that on over. if I can get it to go on over like that, and boom, there you go. It's supposed to mimic him as a Jeep. Does it work? Not really. I've done the best I can with putting a couple of paint apps up here and a couple of, paint app here, and on the other side as windows, but you're stretching it. You're stretching it. Maybe I'll come up with something more permanent eventually. We shall see down the road. But his transformation is as easy as any of the combiner wars. It's like a 9. Overall, this version of Trailbreaker, so glad he has his name back. His real strength is his head, is his cannon arm. That's his real 2 strengths. And that's not enough to make him an ideal version. He's probably about a 7 overall. With my added paint apps, it might bring him up to an 8. But he's about a 7 overall. Does that mean he's a bad figure? No, he's a great figure. It's just you got to realize that if you're going to get him, you're getting a stylized version of one of the original Autobots. Anyway, that's it for this one. Plenty more on the way. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time. And I really look forward to the next time that you and I get together right here for another visit inside the videos.